This microfinance platform, initially touted as a direct peer-to-peer-to-peer lending service, was revealed not to be truly peer-to-peer years post-launch. Key figures such as Pierre Omidyar, eBay's founder with ties to PayPal, and Reid Hoffman from the PayPal Mafia were involved, positioning it within the eBay PayPal network. The platform initially promoted itself with the mission of banking the unbanked, akin to stablecoin rhetoric. As it gained the trust of people in underserved areas by providing loans, it became integral to their economies. The platform eventually launched the Kiva protocol and partnered with the UN, introducing a digital ID system in these regions, leveraging its established trust and influence.
This microfinance platform initially presented itself as a direct peer-to-peer lending service, but it was later revealed that it wasn't truly operating in this manner. A few years after its launch, it became evident that the platform was not a purely peer-to-peer system. The key figures behind the platform include Pierre Omidyar, the founder of eBay, who has maintained significant ties to PayPal since acquiring it in 2002. Reid Hoffman, a member of the so-called PayPal Mafia, also served on the board, alongside Wences Casares, who is no longer part of the board. Reid Hoffman remains involved, along with other key players from PayPal, eBay, or the Omidyar network, situating this platform within the eBay PayPal family. Initially, the platform promoted itself with the mission of banking the unbanked or banking the unbankable, a narrative similar to the one often used in relation to stablecoins. As the platform gained traction, it built trust among the people in underserved areas by providing loans, eventually becoming an integral part of their economies. Over time, users in these regions became increasingly dependent on the platform's services. Leveraging this trust, the platform launched the Kiva protocol and teamed up with the UN to expand their influence in these countries. They introduced a digital ID system, capitalizing on their established presence and influence among the local population. This strategic move allowed the platform to further entrench itself in the economic framework of these regions, marking a significant evolution from its original mission.
Subscribe our channel and press the bell button to get our video notification. And like the video.
If we allow ourselves to be onboarded onto these digital ID systems and financial surveillance systems like the programmable currencies being developed, it will be much easier for those in power to enforce things like carbon credits once people become dependent on these new systems. This seems to be part of the plan, as the same individuals who are architects of the digital ID initiatives at the UN, like Mark Carney and Mike Bloomberg, are also deeply invested in the carbon credit market. They are key figures in promoting the stakeholder capitalist model and ESG initiatives, and they have no intention of abandoning these markets simply because they are unpopular. I believe they are waiting for the right moment when enough people are onboarded to these systems and a pervasive surveillance state is established at where your face becomes your ID and your every move is tracked. As smartphones become more invasive, we are also nearing a point where brain-machine interfaces like Neuralink will allegedly become available for commercial use in the next few years. This technology could further enhance the ability to monitor and control individuals, aligning with their broader strategy of implementing these surveillance and control systems.
If we allow ourselves to be onboarded onto these digital ID systems and financial surveillance systems, such as the programmable currencies being developed, it will be much easier for those in power to enforce policies like carbon credits once everyone becomes dependent on these new systems. This seems to be part of a broader strategy, as the same individuals who are architects of the digital ID initiatives at the UN, like Mark Carney and Mike Bloomberg, are deeply invested in the carbon credit market. They are key figures in promoting the stakeholder capitalist model and ESG initiatives, and they have no intention of abandoning these markets simply because they are unpopular with the public. I believe they are waiting for the right moment, when enough people are onboarded to these systems and a pervasive surveillance state is established. In this scenario, your face becomes your ID, and your every move is tracked. This infrastructure would make it easier for them to push the carbon credit system onto people, integrating it into daily life as part of a broader economic and environmental strategy. As smartphones become more invasive and advanced surveillance technologies are implemented, we are also approaching a point where brain-machine interfaces, like Neuralink, will allegedly become available for commercial use in the next few years. This technology could further enhance the ability to monitor and potentially control individuals, aligning with their broader strategy of implementing comprehensive surveillance and control systems. The integration of these technologies into everyday life could lead to a future where personal freedoms are diminished and individuals are subject to constant monitoring. The convergence of digital IDs, programmable currencies, and invasive technologies like brain-machine interfaces represents a significant shift in how control is exerted over populations. Understanding this trajectory is crucial for navigating the evolving landscape of digital identities and surveillance.
The World Economic Forum and UN's plans for digital IDs often target the so-called unbanked or unbankable populations, who are usually voiceless and vulnerable and may not be aware of these global agendas being implemented. When examining this network, particularly in relation to PayPal, we see that their efforts are often framed as altruistic, focusing on philanthropy or supporting entrepreneurs in regions like Latin America and Africa. However, upon closer inspection, different motives emerge. Key figures like Pierre Omidyar and Reid Hoffman illustrate this point. In Hoffman's case, much of his so-called philanthropy has been directed towards influencing shadow wars and political campaigns. This suggests that these initiatives may not be as benevolent as they appear, as underlying motives are revealed upon closer examination.
The World Economic Forum and UN's plans for digital IDs often target the so-called unbanked or unbankable populations, who are typically voiceless and vulnerable. Many of these people are unaware of the global agendas being implemented that could significantly impact their lives. These digital ID systems are presented as solutions to include marginalized communities in the global financial system, but they also open the door to increased surveillance and control over these populations. Examining the network of organizations and individuals involved in these initiatives, particularly in relation to PayPal, reveals that their efforts are frequently framed as altruistic. They often highlight their philanthropy or support for entrepreneurs in regions like Latin America and Africa. However, a closer look reveals different motives. These efforts can be seen as a way to expand influence and control under the guise of helping those in need. Key figures such as Pierre Omidyar and Reid Hoffman exemplify this approach. Omidyar's ventures often emphasize social impact, but questions arise about the broader implications of these projects. Similarly, Reid Hoffman's so-called philanthropy frequently involves funding shadow wars and political campaigns, revealing a strategic aspect to his actions that goes beyond mere charity. The portrayal of these initiatives as purely benevolent obscures their potential for increased control over vulnerable populations. By implementing digital ID systems, these organizations can track and manage individuals more effectively, integrating them into a digital economy that benefits those in power. This raises important questions about consent, autonomy, and the true impact of these systems on the communities they claim to serve. Understanding the motives behind these initiatives is crucial for assessing their real impact and potential consequences for those who are most affected.
Subscribe our channel and press the bell button to get our video notification. And like the video.